Hey guys, Dan Norris here with Daniel Norris Effects. Right, I have been urgently requested to do this video, so I'm just going to quickly do it now just to get it out of the way, because I know some people probably want to know it as well. This is a video showing you how to export in Premiere. Now, I have an old video of mine here. Now, I'm not going to do this, but what you should always make sure, right, click and make sure you have this yellow marker here right at the beginning of your film or whatever you're doing, and this yellow marker here, have this at the end of your film where you intend your film to actually finish, because if you leave this wide open, everything here will be black. It'll fill up that time, so always make sure that that is right at the end of your film. Just a quick thing. And then once you've done that, if this is red, click enter and it'll render. It'll basically preload all the footage ready, so you don't have any complications when you actually come to export. I'm not going to bother doing that because it'll take too long. So here, right, this is how you export. First of all, right, look at the name in this tab above your timeline. Whichever one you're in. So I'm in sequence 3 right now, so that's the one I want to render. So highlight this. Now you don't necessarily need to do that, but it helps. It just helps avoid any issues. You know, just specifying. And then you want to go to File, Export, Media, and then you'll get this little dialog box here. Now, as you can see by here, this is showing the area which you've selected to render. You can alter it using this here, but I'm not going to bother. Right, and you want to change your format, and right now I'm just showing you the best render settings that I find, you know, for every general use. Basically, you want to go to QuickTime, then you want to select where you want to save your footage, where you want to save your video to. So I'm not going to bother selecting because I'm not going to be saving this one. Change the video codec to H.264. You'll go down. Make sure that this by here matches the video that you are rendering out. So if I just close that a minute, mine, if you want to check it, you just pull this right out and it'll say it right here. It does say it quite far over, but yeah, so mine is 1280 by 1080. Okay, that's strange. Never mind. Yeah, ignore that. Anyway, so export media. So we got QuickTime H.264. Ah, there we are. That's better. So 720 by 1280. Quality jacket for 100. Let's see. Now these three by here. Be careful if you're using your mouse, the mouse wheel. Be careful you don't put the mouse on top of it when you're using it, otherwise it'll do that. It'll switch it, it will. So just make sure the frame rate matches your footage by here. If you're using a DSLR or anything, if you want to export as like 1080p or 720p, the P stands for progressive, so that's what you want by here. You know, using upper first or lower first, that changes it to interlaced, which is 1080i or 720i, whatever. Okay, so DSLR progressive. Okay, then you want to change the aspect ratio, have it on square pixel for the same reason as that. You know, it has all these other different formats here, but just change it to square pixel. I found that's the best one to use for me. Then render at maximum depth, use maximum render quality. Now, you don't necessarily have to do render at maximum, use maximum render quality and all that, or even this quality at 100, but that's for the best settings that is possible. Okay, if you want to, you know, if you want to decrease this value here, I think, right, you can lower this, you can uncheck that, and you can do a bunch of other stuff as well. It doesn't really lower it there, but it should lower it in theory. But yeah, other than that, there are a bunch of presets here. Like for the one I'm exporting now, this by here, this can be used as a preset for it, because this is 24 frames a second, which is near enough. Progressive, all that, see, and it's done it the same thing anyway. But yeah, so once you've got all the settings the way you want, so if you're doing 1080p, you'd have height 1080 by 1920, maximum 24 or 25 or 23.976, whichever one you're doing. Progressive, square pixel, check render at maximum depth, forget all that. Check this box, use maximum render quality, and then you can either export if you want to export it using Premiere, or you can click Q, which opens up Adobe Media Encoder, and once this is opened, you can click Save in Premiere, close it, and then you can use just this to export your film, and you export it by clicking Play. You know, this little green button here, Start Queue. Now, the reason you do that, I do this, is because it takes a lot of heat off your computer. You know, it requires less processing power, basically, and I found it can be quicker as well. But yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much it, really. So I hope this was informative for you, and I shall leave it there, and I shall see you in the next video.